Hi, good morning, everyone. I am Edward Yu. Today, I'm going to discuss a recent alarming case in building defects. It is Australia's cracking apartments case. Before we start, let's outline what we hope to achieve today. First, we will investigate the causes behind the cracking apartment incidents in Australia. Second, we extract valuable lessons from these unfortunate events. Third, we will discuss the pivotal role of building surveyors in averting similar disasters in the future. Before we dive into the specifics, let's understand the background. First, there were several severe incidents happened in apartment buildings in Australia in the past decade, including several fires in 2012, 2014, and 2019, a balcony collapse in 2013, and two alarming cases of cracking apartments in Sydney, Opal Tower in 2018 and in Mascot Tower in 2019. In fact, as high-rise apartments have become more common in Australia in recent decades, the regulations were not good enough to govern. Some legislative changes have been done. For example, the New South Wales government has conducted an independent review on the Building Professionals Act 2005 in 2015, and the Michael Lambert Review report uncovered significant issues in New South Wales building regulations. These include inflexible legislation, fragmented administration, and unclear roles for private certifier, etc. In 2018, Peter Segold and Bradley Weir also produced a building confidence report which examined compliance and enforcement problems in building and construction industry. Their report also highlighted the serious compliance failures, weak oversight by licensing bodies, and independence of building certifiers, etc. So here is a video on the Segold-Weir report. It says, we allow the building industry to self-regulate and it hasn't worked. There are at least 5 issues making it difficult to self-regulate. First, it is controlled by a performance-based building code, which can be complicated to check compliance. Second, the number of high-rise apartments has tripled. Third, pre-sale system results in a serious principal agent problem. The use of design and construct procurement method also weakened the supervising role of the architects. Lastly, the option to allow employing a private building surveyor as a certifier incurs a potential conflict of interest. Now, fast backward to 2018 to 2019, and we witnessed a series of cracking apartment incidents extensively covered by the media. From the Financial Review to investigative reports by ABC, the crisis garnered widespread attention. The two cases highlighted here are the Opal Tower in Sydney Olympic Park and the Mascot Towers on Burke Street. The structural cracks in these cases were so serious that residents were forced to evacuate at night. So what led to these alarming cracks? Several factors are considered in this University of New South Wales 2021 report titled Crack in a Compact City, Tracking Defect in Multi-Unit Strata Housing. First, the principal agent problem in strata schemes where conflicting interests and information asymmetry prevail. This is in line with my paper's finding published in 2006. Second, over-documentation and malpractices in the construction process, creating a facade of compliance rather than actual safety. In other words, people care more about what is written in the paperwork, but not on what is done on the site work. Lastly, the bidding model and industry culture, driven by deregulation and privatization since the 1990s, are also considered an attribute. In this ABC 2024 video, it also referred to the privatization of building certifiers since the 1990s as one of the major causes that result in fewer inspection, lower level of details in documentations, and potential conflict of interest. Well, in the report, water leakage and cracking are found to be the top two most common defects. Reported 116 cases of water-related defect and 81 cases of cracks were reported, which accounted for 18% and 13% of the total number of schemes. Pre-sale of apartments under the strata title system makes the principal agent problems worse. It is notorious that multiple owners co-owning an apartment can complicate building maintenance and management due to the high negotiation cost. The common parts of the apartment building are also managed by a body corporate. Unfortunately, both the individual owners and the body corporate do not have any roles in checking the quality of the building before completion, even though they have paid for the strata titles by pre-sales. Developers, on the other hand, do not have good incentives to build high-quality buildings, as it is the pre-sale buyers who have to bear all the consequences. If you do not know what is a strata title in apartment ownership structure, here provides you some basic information on this unique ownership structure of strata title apartments commonly used in Australia. Basically, it's a structure with dualistic ownership. That is, the individual owners own a strata, usually the interior of each apartment of the building, whereas all owners collectively own the common property and the land. So it makes the division of responsibilities for defect rectification complicated and unclear. Some defect can involve both common parts and individual owner parts. For example, a roof and a ceiling can be the same slab. Before the Segovia report, initiatives like the Strata Building Bond and inspection schemes aim to incentivize quality construction. For example, it requires developers to lodge a building bond of 2% of the contract price. It works like a repair sinking fund for 2 years. But whether they effectively mitigate risk may take time to be reviewed. Then, after the Segovia report, new regulations like the Residential Apartment Building Act 2020 and the Design and Building Practitioner Act 2020 were introduced, emphasizing visibility and transparency. For example, the RAB Act empowers the building commissioner to inspect work, take samples, or even to undertake destructive investigation and seize documents, etc. Transparency is believed to be helpful in mitigating cracking apartments incident in Australia. As L.D. Brandeis famously said, sunlight is the best disinfectant. To wrap up, it's crucial to reinforce the importance of ongoing vigilance and regulatory response in ensuring the safety and integrity of our built environment. It's time for us to reconsider the issues of private certifiers and design build procurement strategy in the building industry. I would love to hear your thoughts and insight on this complex and critical issue. Thank you.